Now my R1 Crossplane I've had since it's been new. I've got 37,000 miles on it right now. I've had some wonderful adventures, some great rides, memorable. Had so much fun making it my own bike and making some unique parts for it. And you can watch this video in 4K, just adjust your device. Well, according to the weatherman, we are going to have a perfect day for riding. It's 50 degrees right now, supposed to go maybe to high 50s, low 60s. Just going to be a perfect fall day to get a ride in. But it's no real surprise, every riding day starts with the same routine. Actually pretty boring. Move the bikes around, get out the bike you want to ride, feed the fish, pick carrots and flowers. It's boring, but it works for me. Now, I've always been a creature of habit. I always have a routine for everything, and it has served me well over the years. And in some cases, it gets boring, but in the end, you always get what you want. Now, in this case, anytime I have two bikes or three bikes out of the garage at the same time, I always like to look and think, the comparison, I got one bike from every 10-year period, basically. And here's the two Crossplanes, a 3-cylinder Crossplane and a 4-cylinder Crossplane. And they share that unique exhaust note. They are several years apart. So the MT-09 has much more modern technology, safety features, quick shifter. But the R1 that I'm going to ride today is a brutal bike. Let's not fool around here. This bike can throw you off the seat in a heartbeat. And very exciting to ride because there is no traction control. There is no safety features on this bike. This is the last year they made them before they wised up and started putting all the safety features on the bike. But anyway, we'll deal with that. We always check the tires. I always suggest other people check the tires. Some people have sent me nice emails saying, but that was a great idea. I went to check my front tire the other day. It had 22 pounds of air. Yeah. When it gets cold, that's what happens. The tires get softer and softer. And I like to clean all the goop off because even my garage is dusty. You don't ride the bike for a few days and it's got dust on it and who knows what. The fish absolutely do like being fed before I go out riding. It's part of my routine. And I do like the fish are a part of my life. The birds are a part of my life. I pick Karen some fresh flowers. Believe it or not, we still have fresh flowers. I like when she comes down to breakfast in the morning, I got a little vase with some fresh flowers. And hey, let's face it, she bought me an MT-09 for my 75th birthday. I wouldn't dare go riding without the radar detector. Thank you, Jose. That has saved my bacon many, many times. And there's always time for that final cup of coffee, and then it's time to head out. Now this bike is an '09 and it is the last year they made them without traction control and ABS and all the safety features. But in this time of year when those leaves are everywhere and they blow out into the street at the worst possible time, you've got to think about, before you see the apex of the turn, before you whack that gas wide open. And it can be exciting. I'm going to be honest about it. I have had some exciting moments this time of year. I had a fella named Chaz, I guess it's Charlie. Chaz put a comment out on the video, one of the R1 videos. He said he has an '08 R1 that he fell in love with. He loved it. He just couldn't say enough good things about it. And then he test rode an '09 and he said, I didn't know Yamaha could make it better, but they did. I have this bike and the FZR, which is very similar, but it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 firing engine, and very similar in performance in a lot of ways. This bike has more power, of course, and maybe a little bit better handling, I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is, this bike has, right from day one, has always been a thrill to ride. And I don't know if the more modern ones, because I haven't had a chance to ride a brand new one, the next generation, but I'll tell you, this one for sure can really make your eyeballs open in a corner when you come out of the apex. It can be scary. Another thing I like, and it's a personal little quirk of this motorcycle, is you can just leave it in one gear higher than it needs to be and just cruise around without a lot of shifting. Now, I've ridden a lot of R6s and a lot of 600cc bikes, and you've got to shift them. And this bike, it has that, I don't know, the torque spread or whatever Yamaha defines it as, but you could just leave it in one gear higher than it has to be, cruise around all day, and it's beautiful out on Route 80. It's got very high gearing, nice on Route 80. Now, I currently have a set of Pirelli Angels on the bike that Vlad got me, and actually they're wearing very well, but my gut feeling is, as I've gotten more and more miles on them, I just think they're just a tad less sticky than the Michelins, just a tad. Now, there's several little carbon fiber parts that I made for this Valentine radar detector mount, of course, the covers that cover the muffler, the heel pads, the part of the parts that go in the front of the fairing, those two Josh Hayes parts, I call them. Very hard to mold. They're very unique. And when I did the modification to the front of the bike, I wasn't sure that those lights, they're light brights, super LEDs, and I wasn't sure they'd be bright enough for what I wanted to use them for, and they've turned out to be just fine, and I still have the look of the Josh Hayes bike. And when I made those headlight replacements, everybody wanted to know where I got them. Well, you know what? I never found they're available anywhere. And I had the exhaust system I made for many years on the bike, and I'm riding in this populated area now on a regular basis, and I put the quiet exhaust system back on, the stock exhaust, and it's still got a nice rumbly sound. I think it does anyway. It's got that cross-plane sound that's very unique. But anyway, my typical riding day is 3 to 4 hours, and it's time to get back to the farm, see what Karen's cooking. She's been starting to cook soup every day now back at the farm, and we've had a beautiful fall day. Well, 37,000 miles went by very quickly. 14 years, time goes by fast. The bike just gets better with age. I wish I did. And when I bought this bike, I had no idea how happy I'd be with it and how much fun it'd be to modify it, make it my own, and of course ride it. So I hope you did enjoy the video, guys, and thank you one and all. Thanks so much for watching.